Yeah, yeah. D-Negs. D-Negs, Kid Poker. Yeah, Daniel Negreanu. Yeah. D-Negs, Kid Poker. Yeah, we know the name. 20 years later, still running the game. From Toronto to Vegas, from cash to the main. Everybody at the table knows Daniel's insane. Walk into the Rio, now the Horseshoe Floor. People lined up 20 deep and then 20 more. Autograph selfies, shaking every hand. Nobody in poker got a bigger fan clan. Daniel Negreanu. How'd you know he had kings in the flush draw too? Daniel Negreanu. Calling out the hand before the hand comes through. Everybody sing Daniel Negreanu. Reading souls like a psychic do. Daniel Negreanu. Half the time we think you're voodoo. Daniel Negreanu. Always saying I think I'm beat, it's true. Then tossing in the chips anyway. Daniel Negreanu. Cold calling 10 jack off, student limit hold'em games. Young pros taking notes while he's doing insane things. Dealer puts the flop out, Daniel starts grinning. He's got ace, queen, backdoor clubs, and a gut shot if I'm winning. Everybody laughs as the red ain't real. Then they watch it later on the YouTube highlight reel. Card for card, street for street. How's this dude predicting hands from the other guy's seat? Phil Helmer talking for an hour and a half. Daniel nodding politely, trying not to laugh. Deep down somewhere in the back of his brain, he's thinking, Phil, you ain't nearly as good as you claim. But he's classy, never says it to his face. Lets Phil tell stories while he wins another race. That's patience, worthy of a Hall of Fame ring. Might be the toughest thing he's done in the game. Daniel Negreanu. Reading souls like a psychic do. Daniel Negreanu. Half the time we think you're voodoo. Daniel Negreanu. Always saying I think I'm beat, it's true. Then tossing in the chips anyway. Daniel Negreanu. Remember frosted tips in the boy band days, looking like he opened for NSYNC on stage. Poker fans today might find it funny, but back then D-Negs thought he was stealing your honey. Millionaire matchmaker couldn't find the plan, then the man that came along and changed the man. Now he's got the life that everybody dreams, better than every reality TV scheme. Big house, good life, family and laughs, while poker Twitter still arguing over graphs. Daniel sitting back with a smile and a grin, knowing life's a tournament he already won. But let's talk pain, let's talk scars, let's talk high stakes poker underneath the stars. Nobody ran worse on TV, that's a fact. Poker gods kept loading bricks into his backpack. Coolers, suckouts, rivers from hell, bad beats so brutal they deserve their own cell. And then there's Gus. Everybody knows the scene. Daniel knew what the answer had to mean. Every alarm bell ringing in his brain, and every instinct screaming like a runaway train. I think he's got quads. The whole table froze, whole audience froze, and somehow call boom quads again. Poker players everywhere fell out their chair, like how do you know and still pay the fare? Only Daniel can make that story true. That's why the game's got legends. And then there's you, Daniel Negreanu. Reading souls like a psychic do. Daniel Negreanu. Half the time we think you're voodoo. Daniel Negreanu. Always saying I think I'm beat, it's true. Then tossing in the chips anyway. Loves hockey, loves betting, loves making the sweat, loves talking strategy every chance he can get. Still passionate now, like day one at the start. Still wears the game right there on his heart. 9th all-time in tournament winnings, that's wild. Still carrying the enthusiasm of a poker child. Best Canadian player the game's ever seen. From Maple Leafs country to the poker dream. You can argue bracelets, you can argue results, you can argue GTO, you can argue defaults. But when people outside poker ask who they know, there's only one answer and everybody goes Daniel! The face of the game, the voice of the game, the ambassador who elevated the game. Signing every autograph, taking every picture, giving every fan a moment they'll remember forever. That's bigger than trophies, that's bigger than cash, that's bigger than every final table and stash. So roast him for the frosted tips, roast him for the hero calls, roast him for saying I'm beat before he pays them all. But But when the history books finally close and the next generation wants to know who made poker fun, who made poker cool, who made billions of fans wanna learn the rules, Daniel Negreanu, Kid Poker, the greatest ambassador the game's ever known. Daniel Negreanu, raiding souls like a psychic dude. Daniel Negreanu, the game got bigger because of you. Daniel Negreanu, from the card rooms all the way to WF Gold, one of the greatest stories poker ever told. Daniel Negreanu, Daniel Negreanu, Daniel Negreanu, Kid Poker forever. And everybody at the table knew.